Okay, so
precise,
are we set?
Yeah, I'm ready
Good to go. Okay, so welcome to episode number 2 of the Bradley Keenan podcast.
The Bradley Keenan podcast.
First of all, did you listen to the first episode?
I watched the first episode. I
Yeah?
don't normally watch the video podcast.
You were very helpful because when I started the idea of having a podcast, you pretty much told me how to do it.
Yeah.
And then you criticised my editing on the first version because there were so many.
Yeah, noddies I call them.
Well, you call what? So you
They're
have
called
to do
noddies.
what the or the.
Yeah.
Oh.
So what I'd do is if I was filming an interview with someone and the interview wasn't great or there's a lot of stopping and starting with the
I just did it.
Exactly. With the presenter,
Okay, I'm not
I'd then
gonna do
at the
this
end when the subject's left, I'd go, right, we're going to film some noddies now and just film the presenter going, yeah, all right. So you can cut it in so you can make that long interview that was really boring, really short and concise and use the presenter as that cut point. But then you did it naturally. So
Right.
you're already there.
So you are a standing guest. So you are very much.
Subs bench.
You are subs bench.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. And we were going to get round to recording you eventually, but you've gone right to the top of the bill,
Jumped the
episode
line.
number 2.
Yeah.
So the first thing I want to talk about is Ben's career history from the dizzy heights of ETAL
/ channel advisor. So I left before the coup.
the coup. So I remember when I interviewed you, and what was funny about that interview was that you had a pint of Guinness when I turned up.
I knew you were going to say that.
And it's the only person I've ever turned up to an interview and they've been drinking Guinness. I wasn't adverse to it, but
it's a weird thing to do.
It was a shock.
Yeah. Well, I think sometimes it's my detriment, but I will never be a different person for anyone. Like if I fancied a Guinness at that point, so I got a Guinness.
Yeah.
It was a Saturday. The sun was out.
Was it a Saturday?
I think it was a Saturday, yeah.
Oh, that's totally okay then.
It's forgivable.
Yeah, because I sometimes make the mistake, if I'm in America, obviously we have certain different cultures around drinking in England than our American friends do. Yeah. And when I first started doing business in America, I would have a beer in a business lunch. I'm talking like a bottle of beer. And I remember the first time I did it, like the look I got of this guy's an alcoholic.
In a situation like that, if you feel comfortable enough to have a beer, then you're obviously going to make everyone else around you feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
Unless obviously you're going for, I don't know. I don't know a situation where I wouldn't have a beer if I wanted to have a beer.
But do you think that obviously you don't fit the stereotype of somebody who works in a corporate environment, or maybe now, but certainly when we worked together, which was 10 years ago, 10 years?
6 years, 7 years ago?
7 years ago, having tattoos in the workplace was not necessarily something people would like.
Well, even when I started my current job, Port Novelli, and still to this day, my tattoos are a massive talking point.
Well, still now?
To this day, like last night, we were at a Johnson & Johnson event. I had to wear a long sleeve shirt.
Really?
Yeah, because
and they asked you to do that?
Yeah.
See,
the client specifically said no tattoos on show. I had to go out and buy the photographer a t-shirt from a shirt from Primark. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because when I've been doing videos on LinkedIn, I've actually consciously thought to myself, do I always wear a long sleeve shirt, or do I make an effort to just be like okay with the fact I have tattoos? But you always wonder that there might be one person that will see you as maybe it becomes classist. I don't know.
I think it is definitely a thing. Like a classist thing, but of course if you're on LinkedIn you should be standing by your Ferrari that you worked so hard to get. That's the humble brags of LinkedIn.
The humble brag. So let's start with LinkedIn, because I know you've got quite strong views towards it, and as do I. So the interesting thing is, if you had asked me 4 years ago, I would have said that my aspiration in life was to not have a LinkedIn account at all. Now I run a social media platform which is designed to encourage people to use LinkedIn. Yeah. So I've done somewhat of a U-turn. And obviously I spent my time convincing people that they should be on LinkedIn. You are on LinkedIn. I thought you weren't.
I wasn't. I had to delete it because I started trolling people on LinkedIn.
Right.
Literally every time someone posted anything like humble bragging, I was like, oh, humble brag. I can't help it.
Well, we would screenshot people and send it to each other and say...
And then but it escalated from there to me literally just commenting humble brag.
Right.
So I loved
But do you troll? So one of the things I've noticed about social media is that for 3-4 years ago, it really frustrated me because the content that I saw just wasn't sincere.
Nice.
But I think now I don't see as much of that, but I don't know whether that's social media is changing or that I've done a very good job of unfollowing every single person that puts that kind of content on LinkedIn, especially. Facebook's not so much because, I mean, I'm not a big Facebook user, but for LinkedIn, I feel like there's less of that now.
Because I deleted all my Facebook accounts, so I didn't just deactivate it, it's gone. I don't have a Facebook account.
So you went through the process of getting them to remove all your data?
The long process of getting rid of my data. But I do have a Facebook account that I use to manage pages like Eat Dirt page, Slay Dougie page.
We're going to talk about Slay Dougie soon.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. But there's no friends.
I'm just building up to that.
This is all preamble.
This is preamble. This is going to get deleted.
Yeah. It's good to get more comfortable when we start talking about dressing up as a dog for kids.
Yeah. So let's come on to Slay Dougie. Not yet.
No,
hold that. We're going to build
back.
up to that. That is the main event that happens in
event.
about.
Well, that's
25.
where you're going to get all your listeners from. Because if you put Slay Dougie on something now, people are like, they love it.
Stop trying to get into Slay Dougie too early.
Anyway,
we're talking about LinkedIn.
Yeah, I have a Facebook page, but it's got no personal information on there whatsoever.
Okay.
I use it to manage my pages and look for paving slabs cheap on the marketplace. But LinkedIn, I rejoined LinkedIn when I started at Port Novelli, purely because people would ask me all the time, "Oh, what's your LinkedIn?"
Well, Do you post on LinkedIn?
I use it. I have to use it because the social media team here asked me to share stuff, or if I do something good, like I've been up for Sabre Awards and things like that, so I post that. Humble brag, Sabre Award winner.
Hashtag humble brag.
Hashtag humble brag.
So it's not part of your process to go through and read LinkedIn.
If someone just asked me, "Can you share this on your LinkedIn?" I'll go in, log in, reset my password because I've forgotten it, and post it on there.
But is that because you don't find any of the content interesting, or is that because you're making a conscious effort to do less of
There's
social?
never interesting content on there. Like, you already send me your videos anyway, so I look.
Yeah, I put some good, interesting content on. Thank you very much, Ben.
You send me your videos separately for critique, so I see them. So I don't need to. I don't need to look at them.
Ben, what do you think of this?
Is this good? Do I come across as a normal person? You've tried really hard, yes. You've managed to put the veil of normality on for this. That's again a reason.
I always say to people, do I come across like me in that video? And they're like, no, you don't.
No,
but you come across with a version of you, yes.
See, that's another thing I can't do with LinkedIn because it does seem like everyone's put on this mask of normality. When you talk to you talk to anyone and you realise they're a complete lunatic. Anyone you meet is got quirks, eccentricities, and just little nuances to their personality that actually, if you were honest and you put that out on social media, people will think you were an absolute mentalist, especially me.
What do you mean that if
you have everyone?
You're saying every single person in some way has got crazy about them.
There's got to be. If you haven't got crazy about you, then I worry. Like if you're normal, straight down the line, there's people who work here that are normal. Not going to name any names in case they do watch this, but that are so normal that there's something going on there.
Right.
There's people in like if you meet someone that hasn't got like something weird about them or just a little quirk that you pick up on, then there's something deep rooted in there that they probably killed someone.
Yeah.
Or want to kill someone.
And are you saying then that if people were to portray their true selves on LinkedIn, that people would latch onto whatever crazy that was and make a snap judgment?
It'd just become Instagram, wouldn't it then? Because everyone would have their own brand, their personal brand that is that. Whereas on LinkedIn, everyone's trying to just be the most employable person. That's all LinkedIn is, isn't it? It's just a bit like a social CV. Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, it is in a way because if you're a salesperson and you're not on LinkedIn, then you've committed a crime because your job is to sell, and that's where people are. So, but
I agree.
But for most other people outside of sales or a corporate role, then yes, it's a way that somebody can see you and look to employ you. But what you're saying is, if you just present a vanilla version of yourself, you're not employable anyway.
Well, no, I think. Yes, they're going to find out eventually that you're not that. But a lot of people, I think, and I've interviewed people before, and for jobs, and you can just go, you're not being real. Or if this is you, then you're not the right person for the job. But normally I'm employing for like creative roles. Well,
But so define what you mean by a humble brag. So give me an example of a humble brag.
yeah, like I can't think of any because I've had to wipe them for my. So yeah, it'd be like some guy just leaning on his Porsche or whatever and going, just think, if it wasn't for all this 4 years ago, I quit my job and I started from fresh, and now I've got 16 warehouses and I get to take mornings off work to spend with my lovely family. And it just like, yeah, humble brags are rap songs, but in just a small, like in 140 character rap songs.
Yeah.
That's what I find. Like,
So what social network do you use?
I have an Instagram, but I delete the app, and then when I get bored, I reinstall the app. I've got Reddit. I like Reddit because it's just.
Well, Reddit's the origin, right? That's where everything starts.
Yeah.
And then when you see
It starts in 4chan, then gets to Reddit. And
Yes.
I don't have 4chan though. I've never been on that site. Apparently, it's brilliant.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad stuff goes on 4chan though.
But Reddit, I find, is great because you can just follow things you're interested in.
I use social networks based on the content I want to see that is of value to me. So when it becomes not of value,
That's probably why I don't have any social networks.
well,
This is
Facebook
like-
groups are quite interesting.
Yeah, if
because
you're looking for a job, I use
Really?
it for edit. I used to use it to get freelance edit jobs.
I wouldn't have thought of that.
I
See,
am an editor.
I use it for hobbies. So I'll get into something and I go for a cycle, which is get in something, buy something, join the Facebook group, nerd out on it for
2 weeks?
3 to 6 months. And then the cycle in that group goes all the way around where everything you can think about in that hobby has been spoken about. And then I get bored and then I leave the group.
I do much the same. So I started learning guitar properly about a year and a half ago. And now I'm a member of like every single buy and sell guitar group in the UK. Everything. And I just look all day long. Like, we've got the Les Paul CM from 2006.
So I like the way you brought up guitars as a segue into Slay Dougie. So this is the real meat of what I want to talk about today.
I'm a professional podcaster. I know how to segue.
Obviously, everyone's going to already know Slay Dougie. So, but for the one or two people in the world who don't know,
If you're not a parent, then you can switch off because you're not going to care about this next thing.
right?
And you won't know about it and you'll never know about it because this is for parents really. Kids love it, but if you're a parent who likes heavy music like I am and like you are, you find that moment when your kid's interest and your interest come together.
So give me the Dragon's Den pitch.
5 30 to 45-year-old men dressed as dogs play TV theme songs in the style of Slipknot.
Yes. And
Are you in?
So it started. The thing I'm interested in this is you had a band before, a successful band.
Successful band before.
So give me a snapshot of successful band before.
So I was in a band called the Smoking Hearts for 8 years. We toured the world. Caused your brother no end of trouble when I worked at E-Tail because I kept taking time off.
Taking extended holidays.
Extended
to go on
holidays,
tour,
unpaid. So supported Slipknot, System of a Down, NoFX, Deftones, all the big ones. The Used.
Limp Bizkit.
Limp Bizkit. Then eventually that died out. Two of us had kids, not together, and got married, and the other three, one of them just quit before it split up, and the other two wanted to stay young and continue touring, and we never wanted to stop touring, but they saw our commitment to other things as an issue. So
Other things being children.
and families.
Yes.
So they just, one day there wasn't a band anymore. So then me and Mark, who was the other guitarist in Smoking Hearts, started another band called Eat Dirt. And then while we were doing that, I had a kid, my first child, Cecilia. And then we started watching Hey Dougie.
Yeah.
And then there was an episode of Hey Dougie where they had a stick song. Are you familiar with the stick song?
Well, I'm not. And here's the interesting thing, and a criticism I have of Slay Dougie is that my youngest child is now about to turn 9 and my oldest is 11 going on 12. So your era of songs you cover are post my period of time of having children.
Wait till you hear the new album.
You're going to go retro.
We've got some retro tracks.
Oh, I like it.
We've got some ones that were from when we were kids.
Vicky said to me, Ben's had a video that's gone viral. It's got more than 1 million views.
76 million views, but whatever.
76 million?
Yeah.
What, the Stick songs had?
No, Baby Shark.
Baby Sharks had 76.
Oh no, Stick Song originally, yeah. But so we jumped forward like a year then. So Stick Song.
So with the Stick Song, so let me just. So when you sent me that, no, Vicky said that it had at the time it was 1 million views, and then I went to listen to it. I'd never even heard of Slay Dougie. So the first Stick Song I ever heard was yours.
Yeah.
And then I had to then go and check out what it was.
Yeah. You had to retrofit your knowledge really to my.
But that's so Baby Shark has had 76 million views.
Just on the Facebook one, like I think in total it's like up to over 100. It's mental.
Did any Smoking Heart song ever have 76 million?
I don't think they've ever had like 10,000 views.
So this is what I find interesting about this. You have a music career, an event happens which in most people's world is the thing that ends it.
Yeah.
And then for you, that's the catalyst for something new. I won't say better. I would say
no, it's different. It's not better. It's different. Yeah. Well, what's the point in giving up your dreams just because you've got a kid? You're just going to make you resent your kids.
So, but did you strategically say, let's start a band with a view of getting 76 million views?
No, there was not.
Or was it just something you did for a laugh?
I think that's why it happened, because there was no thought really went into it. It was, it started with an Instagram comment. Someone posted, my mate Nick, who's the creative director of Slay Dougie, basically. He leads it now.
Yeah.
He posted the Stick Song, the original, on his Instagram, and I went, we should do a metal cover. And within 48 hours of me posting that comment, Stephen Mack was playing our version on Six Music. So it happened that quickly.
Right.
And then then we did the video like the next day, and then that went viral.
Well, what's the situation with the rights to the video? I mean, can I share?
You can share it because we've licensed the track. So we licensed Stick from Hey Dougie's production studio.
And has there been any communication with the creators of Hey Dougie?
Yeah, they like it. But that's it. Well, we want to be in an episode. That's the dream. Once we're in the episode, we'll probably split up.
That is the ultimate dream.
That'd be amazing. Imagine now we're in, that stupid thing we do.
Yeah.
Guess what? We're in Slay Dougie. We're in Hey Dougie.
Yeah.
But no, we're not. We did Sarah and Duck next. And then.
I don't know that.
That's like just a duck, a girl walks around with a duck.
Right.
So
talk to me about the retro. So in my era, are we doing big?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That one from Sesame Street. We did You Got a Friend in Me from Toy Story.
Okay, yeah.
That's just come out. The Littlest Hobo.
Yes.
Got that. We're doing a video for that in some woods. That'd be fun. But yeah, and then we did our first ever live show.
Well, that I didn't know about because I was in America. And then again, my source of information, my wife, said to me, Ben sold out a gig.
In 3 hours.
And was it a normal metal gig?
It was, but it was with kids. So it was parents got in free or kids got in free. Either way, kids had to have an adult with them. But we put on a full, almost like a carnival for them. So there was ice cream vans, there was face painting. There was going to be a bouncy castle, but there wasn't room in the car park for it. And then what we did was we turned it into more of an education. So it was teaching kids about gigs. So we did a circle pit, and then we did a triangle pit, and then we did a square pit, and we didn't do a rectangle pit. But we do the
square pit was almost certainly a rectangle pit unless you measured it very accurately.
It was very accurate. But yeah, we did that, and we taught them about the things that happen at gigs. Like we did an encore, but we explained what the encore was. We were talking about mosh pits, and it was really fun. The kids were up front singing along.
What average age?
6, but there was a lot of younger kids there.
But your music, to some people who haven't already heard hardcore music, it would sound like if a random kid said, "Oh, there's an event going on," and the mums were just like, "Well, I might as well just go because it's on Sunday." They would have probably. Did you have any tears?
There was a few tears, but that was because we were walking around in dog costumes.
So there's more people being scared of the dog costumes than the
music. They all love the music. Every single kid there was there for the music. It was insane how many people they knew the word. Obviously, know the words. They're not our songs.
Most people, when they think about their business, if you think about your music business, don't really have a niche or a
Niche. Yeah, great.
And you created one. Like, I can't think of anything more of a niche than hardcore heavy metal music. And I'm talking the heaviest of heavy metal music.
It's hate breed for kids, really.
With 6-year-olds face painting ice cream. That is a niche, right?
It is.
But you sold out a gig. Do you find that has an effect on the more artistic music that you create?
It has nothing to do with it because it's anonymous, really. No one knows I'm in Eat Dirt. Right. No one knows who Eat Dirt are.
But have you not thought about trying to like segue that in?
No, I wear the t-shirts. I wear Eat Dirt t-shirts on stage when I'm dressed as Ricky Bow Wow, my alter ego.
Right.
But we don't mention it really. I don't think it's never going to cross over. What Eat Dirt does is not what those people, the fans of Slay Duggy, want. Not just the kids, the mums and dads. They want Slipknot, they want Stone Sour, that popular heavy metal. They don't want skate punk screaming about politics and mortgages and like hating the Kardashians and shit. They don't want that. They just want poppy heavy music. We did Britain's Got Talent.
Yeah, tell me about that, because
it's the worst experience of my life. 12 hours sitting in a corridor, like it was like being in A&E. But instead of people being injured, they were delusional. It was mental.
But that is an injury in some respects.
Yeah, it was mental injury, and we didn't even make it through to the final cut of the TV show.
Why? Did you perform for Simon Cowell?
What happened? Yeah, we did. He was the only person who said yes. What happened was they liked what we did. The producers liked what we did, and then they stole the idea and they got Ant and Dec to dress up as dogs with Stephen Mulhern, and then they did basically the same thing, but with better costumes. So and then the whole time the producers were leading us and trying to make us do something different than what we were going to do. They wanted us to take the helmets off, like the hats off. They wanted us to.
So talk me through the day. So I imagine something like that is, like you said, the death. It's never going to be a VIP experience.
Are you allowing swearing on your podcast? It was shit. It was so fucking shit. That's the only way. Right, 12 hours of sitting in a dog costume because I didn't want at any point the camera to walk past and see my head.
So you're like an undercover agent as a dog.
I'm just like this, like.
And you're at ITV. Is it ITV Studios on?
No, it's at the Palladium. So we did get to play we played to a sold out Palladium, which is pretty impressive. But the rest of the band had to mime, and we weren't allowed to do one of the songs we wanted to do. We had to do Walking in the Air, which was our Christmas single. Mm-hmm. And I hate that song. It's just not our best work. So no one really got it. Amanda Holden's a moron. So like, why is there a lobster? Because we ran out of dog costumes on Amazon, so we had to get a lobster costume for someone, okay? That's the real reason, but we had to obviously, we weren't allowed to talk either.
What I don't understand about that is, of all the questions about what you were doing,
I
mean, that's not the question to ask.
Alicia Dixon goes, that's my daughter's favourite song, you've ruined it. It's like, well, you ruined the charts in your shit band, Mystique. Was she a Mystique? Whatever. Yeah, she was shit. David Walliams, like, oh God, like.
Did he not like it?
He was like, oh, it's fucking weird. Oh, what are you doing? Why is this happening? And then Simon Cowell was like, do you know what? This is the best thing I've seen all day.
Oh, so as long as Simon Cowell liked it. That's what I said.
If Simon Cowell liked it, then you know that the one talented person on that table is Simon Cowell. It's the only person who knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And he liked it. He said, we're the best thing he'd seen all day. Everything else was fucking shit. He goes, you're the only people that actually come out originally.
I guess Britain's Got Talent isn't necessarily a singing contest.
It's not. It's a talent contest.
It's a talent contest.
It was just like a whole day of people desperation. All I could smell was desperation and delusion.
And you wore the dog costume all day?
All day. I had to go, if I wanted to take it off, I went to the toilet.
For a breather?
Yeah. And all the catering was, all day, chips. Chips. Right. I ate 8 plates of chips because I was bored.
How did you eat a plate of chips whilst dressed as a dog?
The mouth hole's quite big. You can...
So people will actually see this dog
just eating chips like a dog, like an animal.
It's a shame though, because if you got on TV, if they'd given you the cut, it would have been worth it just for the promotion of the content.
Well, we did loads of content. We did all the online stuff. We went back for Britain's Got More Talent. We Steve Mulhern, which was a really good interview. If we'd got on there, it would have blown us up. But I think
more than 76 million views.
More than 76 million views. But then from that, America's Got Talent got on the phone, and now we're going to LA in March to be on America's Got Talent. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
They probably will cast it though. They'll probably actually put it out.
Yeah, they'd have to because they've paid our flights.
Amazing.
Yeah, so we'll be in the LA for like 2 weeks because they filmed the whole thing in 2 weeks.
I mean, you can see it going. It's one of those things where you hear these kind of stories, but you can see that being like the success thing, and you're left going, but I want to be an artist.
I want to be a creative artist. I want integrity.
And you're touring the world as a dog. So what's next for Slade Dougie? Apart from the
new album, couple of gigs, hopefully AGT, America's Got Talent for you.
Of course.
Yeah. And
how in the company you work in, is everyone familiar with Slade Dougie?
I'm going to have to go for a wee. You're going to have to pause this.
Paused.
So, yes.
So just leave that in as a massive bit of like blank space.
Just put the gap in there. Just say I'm going to have to go for a wee and then me coming back. Yeah. So I've told everyone at the office. The PR company I work for.
You in?
Leave this in as well. Yeah, so we released a Christmas single, and that's when I realised that that's the time I was going to use my email all.
Well, you told the company?
The whole company. Global. My band's just released a
How many
Christmas
people
single.
work at Borton Novelli?
In the London office, 85. But I accidentally sent it to Global, which is 3,000 people plus.
Was this pre 76 million views, or was this
This is like the Christmas single that didn't do too well. Walking in the Air, the Alec Jones song from The Snowman. So I thought, fuck it, just send it to everyone. With a little preamble, like what's going on, why we've done it. But throughout the day, people would open that email. So every now and again, I'd hear it firing off on people's laptops, but they weren't expecting. I don't know what they thought they were expecting. So when it started, people were going, "Fuck! What? Oh,
what you attached the video?
Oh yeah, link to the video and the buy link. Buy it, gets to number one. Didn't get anywhere near it, but
if only everyone had bought 1,000 copies each. So if you were in a business setting, so you go and see a client, and you have some pretty big clients, and after the meeting, like a lot of people will do, is I'll say, right, I'm going to research this guy.
You wouldn't find out that I was in Slade Dougie.
Really?
You wouldn't find it. You wouldn't be able to see it anyway.
So if I type Ben Mills in Google,
you just get the guy who won X Factor.
When?
A guy called Ben Mills on X Factor.
When? What year?
Like 2003, 4? I don't know.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he looks like a bit like Curtis Stigers, the musician. I like the idea, and this goes back to when I was a kid, when I really liked the fact they didn't know who Slipknot were. I really like the idea of
when they had masks.
When the masks were but they were anonymous. They were just numbers.
Yeah, I agree.
I really like that. I like that feeling of like, going, I wonder who they are. Like, of wondering.
I find with music that's often a thing. Like a lot of the musicians that I like, I wouldn't want to meet because I like the music a lot, and I can almost guarantee I won't like them if I met them.
Yeah, yeah. Well, having met Slipknot. Yes, met Slipknot because toured with Slipknot. Humble brag there.
Look at me now.
Look at me now. I'm in a meeting room in South London. Yeah, I like the idea of people not knowing that it's us because you know what? Because it's such a disappointment when you find out who actually they were.
Well, because a lot of people would have assumed it was a collection of people who
more
are
established musicians. Yeah,
yeah.
Like, I mean,
you had that where people have said, "Oh, I think it's these people."
Well, people like the guys from Kerrang, who did a few bits on Slade Dougie, knew it was me straight away.
So, if somebody was searching for Slade Dougie now because they're thinking, "I wonder who this guy is," which song should they listen to?
Oh, you got Baby Shark. It's Baby Shark all day long. It's so good. That is probably one of the heaviest songs I've ever been involved with.
Okay,
it's so good.
Baby Shark and then Stick.
Baby Shark, then I Am a Shape. then stick.
So would you not consider, because the ultimate act of being completely sincere and authentic on LinkedIn, would you ever just share, hey, this is music I'm making, what do you think?
I think I would, but I just genuinely don't think people would care. That's why I'm like...
But I think they would. See, I think
I think I might have shared it on LinkedIn.
Maybe?
I think so.
Yeah. See, what I like on LinkedIn is when people, a lot of people talk about this, LinkedIn's not Facebook campaign. And if you post something that is in any way personal, people go, LinkedIn's not Facebook. But I think that's what LinkedIn's been missing for years.
I think if it's relevant.
Here's something I'm doing.
But then, it should, maybe it's like more of a hobby thing you'd post. Like I'd post hobby stuff on there, I think, because you should show like, this is what I do outside of work.
But that's the thing. That's what I think is missing, because I remember, I think they call it Generation Z, is it? Where I'm digitally native, but I remember analog. So I remember,
that's us, isn't it?
Yeah. So I remember when there was no internet, and I feel like when I first started selling to people, you would go and visit people in person, and there would be a point in time that you would learn about them as people. Yeah. And then what's happened with LinkedIn and how everything's digital, everyone does Zoom calls, is everything's so transactional, because we go straight on a Zoom call and it's, what do you do? What value is it to me? And there's a transaction. So I think LinkedIn has to be a place that people post personal things, because then you can actually, next time you speak to someone, say,
it would make it pretty more fun.
I didn't know you were
that's really
in a
interesting.
hardcore band for kids. I like heavy music, which you might not know
exactly
if you just look at my nerdy LinkedIn picture.
Yeah, you find that out about people all the time. That they don't look like their LinkedIn photo as well. Like it's all very. That's what I said about it all being like a facade and it being like a mask, because you couldn't tell from 98% of the profile pictures on LinkedIn or the posts on LinkedIn what music that person likes.
Well, that's the problem. And I was talking to, in the last podcast I did with the guy from Group M, is we were talking about CVs. And one of the problems I have with CVs is when I read one, it just tells me nothing about that person. Yeah. Even the interests on somebody's CV,
football, gym,
socializing with friends.
Yes.
I want specifics. I want someone to say I hiked across, I don't know, Africa or whatever, and I'll go, oh wow, that's really cool.
Know that socializing from friends is just a leftover from when they worked their first CV in year 11. Yes. Socializing with friends is just that was in everyone's CV.
Hanging out with family. Well, the problem is I find with LinkedIn is I'm able to post content to LinkedIn based on what I do, but I don't answer to anyone in the sense of I run the business. But I can imagine if you work in a company, there's always that feeling of, I would like to post this, but is my boss going to go, oh, you probably shouldn't post that because we've got a client.
Your company's on there,
Yeah.
Yeah, but then that all comes down to common sense though, doesn't it really? That's you like going, oh, should I post this on LinkedIn because this is going to affect something? But if you're going to post something that might affect a client, then you probably shouldn't post it on your personal account, right?
Yeah, like you probably shouldn't represent a client and then post conspiracy theories about that client on the same day.
Exactly.
But I would like to see more. Obviously, I would like to see more people share personal stuff on LinkedIn. But I find that, like you said, there's that thing where people just are scared to be themselves, and then I guess it's just being scared of judgment.
Yeah.
So even when I'm posting stuff, I'm finding that as I'm making more videos, I'm trying to be more me, because like it's like when people say I don't want to put a profile picture on my LinkedIn. It's like you're aware that is your face.
Yeah,
like you have that face on.
Well,
all
they're going
to
find your face eventually. But then just get a better picture. Just pay someone to do it. You probably find someone that'll take you a decent picture.
Well, it's funny because there's a thing called Photo Feeler. Are you familiar with this?
No.
So Photo Feeler is a website you can upload your profile picture to, either for business or for dating. And then it's a crowdsourced solution. So people will go on and they will give you feedback. So what I did...
That sounds horrible.
No, so I had a LinkedIn picture before, which was me kind of trying to look cool in a startup environment, like on my laptop. Yeah. And I posted up then. I didn't score well. Like 2.5 out of 5. So,
what?
And it said I didn't look competent. And then some of the comments were things like, can't see his face, don't know whether to trust him, that kind of thing. So then what I did was I had a professional photographer come in and take some new pictures and resubmitted them to Photo Feeler and then got a better result.
Yeah.
So yes, you can put these pictures on Photo Feeler and it'll tell you how you rate.
I need to get a new one. Mine's a
LinkedIn
bit weird.
picture.
I'm not looking like that. Speaking of, we were just talking about those profile pictures and stuff, and this is probably getting close to the end anyway. Did you see that thing on the Times about tattoos?
No.
It said, tattoos mark people as hasty and reckless.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, but I do imagine that people
That seems
do.
like something the Times would say.
Yes.
Celebrities such as Scarlett Johansson have tattoos, but a study suggests that people with visible tattoos...
Why would you call out Scarlett Johansson as a person?
So they could put a picture of her on there and she's not wearing... Not wearing
all the people...
Her tattoos are really bad as well. They look like they've been done in the kitchen. Were less likely to consider the implications of their decisions. Or they do...
They're good at making decisions.
Good at making decisions because they've got tattoos. So I think maybe... is that hasty and reckless? Impulsive.
I mean,
it is impulsive.
Yeah.
But
And,
then
well, it's
there
not
is-
really because the waiting list you have to keep for tattoo parlours now are so long.
Oh, it depends.
It depends where you get it done, I guess.
Or you can go, look, I've got this idea. It's a bit crazy. Have you got any time today? Because I will change my mind. Hence my tattoo of Lake Palmer from Lou Fruit. But then a lot of thought went into that.
Yeah.
Right. I think, and I don't regret any of the tattoos I've got.
No, I
Because I
don't.
just get them covered up when I decide I don't like them anymore.
Yeah, I've got one tattoo that I really don't like, which is a scorpion on my back, and it looks like a crayfish. But it's on my back, so I don't really see it.
Exactly.
So I don't really
I
have to
don't have any tattoos on my back because
But
I
we're
don't see it.
approaching time, Ben.
Yeah.
And this meeting room's going to have people barging in here soon. So Ben, thanks so much for taking the time to join episode number 2.
Yeah. I don't know how good it's going to be. There's a lot of rambling.
There's a lot of rambling, but once I've edited it, it's going to come as very snappy, sharp, intelligent chat.
I like it when podcasts are just unedited and just left.
Well,
into the
I
ether.
think there's a bit of rambling needs to come out, but not a huge amount.
The bit when I went to the toilet for 10 minutes.
No, I'm leaving that in, and I'm
You
leaving
should.
me on the phone for 5 minutes while you were there.
Oh, great. Who did you talk to?
You'll have to wait to podcast to
Oh,
find
I
out.
would. Do you want me to say like all my Instagrams and stuff and where
Yeah,
you can
hit
find
me up with your Instagrams.
You can hit me up on Instagram at Ben Mills Made This,
Yeah.
at Slay Dougie, and at Eat Dirt Punk.
And the next gig is Colchester.
It's actually Saturday, September the 7th with Eat Dirt playing
It's
the
this weekend?
Chinneries in Southend.
Wow.
Yeah, our old stomping ground. And then, October the 23rd. Let me just check, sorry. Yeah, October 23rd at the Colchester Arts Centre. And that's Angus Rocks and that's Slay Dougie. That's probably the one you want to go to if you're going to get a ticket. It's in Colchester
I was
as well.
born in Colchester, so
Oh, yeah.
I could return.
You can, hometown. This is Brad's hometown show. That's it.
On that note, we're going to close.
Yeah.
Ben,
Thank you.
You have been an amazing guest.
Thank you. You've been
Thanks,
an amazing
dude.
host.
High fives.
Great. Right.